Hello there, everybody. Welcome to Let's Talk. Look at my nose, it's still all red and swollen. What's going on? It's been going on for like too long. Something. I hope it don't fall off. Oh, look at that. Hurts really. And look at that. My nose all look like one of them stick-on clown noses. And Lenny love giving me kisses, and that tongue smacks that nose back and forth. And I'm like, oh my God, my nose hurts so bad. I can't stop him from giving me affection, though. Can't do that. She thinks she did something wrong. Can't have that. Can't have that. Welcome to Yogi Hamm. No, welcome to Let's Talk About It with Yogi Hamm. That's right. I'm Yogi Hamm. Something like that. I don't know, back over here. But, so here's what it is. We're doing, I was doing like music talk and talking about all different times in my life. Music's been every section of my life, what kind of music was involved during that soundtrack of my life. And we got up into the 90s. And then I left off, and I hadn't come back for a while because I was just like, this last section, it was probably the last time I really got into albums, whole albums. Because everything since then, I don't have any new albums that I can say, yeah, that album right there went here. Just all single music. And, some groups of songs from bands, but not no more whole albums. Oh, they didn't do it, so I'm gonna give. I said, well, I better finish up because I just got that last little group, and it's kind of sad because this is gonna be the last music talk about the albums that followed me along. I mean, there's more than what I've listed so far because I think this is like part of. It's like. I don't know. It's like music past part 7 or something like that, I think. So, this is it though. This is the last albums. Since I was in junior high, I started getting into. I listen to albums now. Don't get me wrong. I told you about the Moody Blues with my dad's and my father's. I won't say dad no more. My father's. But anyhow. Here we go. We started in like the 90s, and the first album of the 90s that I really got into was that damn Facelift by Alice in Chains. A friend of mine, a buddy, told me, he said, you gotta go listen to this. And I was like, all right. I wasn't prepared. I love him guitar parts. Boy. Everything he write guitar just sounds so good, and he writes some good riffs and stuff. Good, boy. And that singer, them harmonies was fit. Only thing better, Queen. So, I like him. Fellers. And he had singer croaked. We moved on. He left his mark and moved on. But, so the next one was that 10 by Pearl Jam. And that album, I used to love that album. I don't really care for it no more. I don't remember last time I even heard anything off of it. But when that first come out, boy, I played the hell out of that, and I was really into him. And then that singer for Pearl Jam, he was like timid and quiet and everything. But then, like after album, next thing you know, he's all like eyes rolling back in his head, and you can't understand the word he's saying. And I'm like, what's wrong with that boy? What happened? And then I realized it's just another one of them cases where being a decent singer for the type of music you're doing ain't enough. You gotta be weird too. So then he started turning all weird instead of just staying the same like he was. He started trying to act weird to get more attention. I kind of lost my feeling for him after that. But that first album, boy, I'm listening to that. The hell, I ain't heard much off of it lately for a long time. But it first come out, I wore it out. I did. And then just lost my taste for it. And then another one that I discovered it in the mid-90s, and it had been around since it come out in 70. And that was that band Morrison, the album called Moondance. So in the 90s, I started listening to that a lot. I listened to that. What is going on? Something in my head. I thought it was a tag. Something's irritating my head. Anyhow, so Moondance, I wore that out. Boy, I still listen to that too. It's still one of my top favorite damn album, boy. Every damn song. Ain't stinker on it. Ain't stinker on that album. No, it ain't. So, and then the other one come out in 1974, but I didn't discover that except into the early 2000s. And that's The Heart of Saturday Night by Tom Waits. That's when I started looking him up. And I was like, well, I remember that fella. Let me see what he's doing. And I found that album, and I've been, that album turned me into a Tom Waits fan after that. Wow, that's a good one. But that's really the last album I've got into. Around that same time, it was an honorable mention. I won't go into it too much, but Chris Isaak, his album, Heart-Shaped Box. I got into that one about the same time, just not as hard as I did with these other four. But I want to give him an honorable mention, that album. So anyhow, there you go. That's Music Talk Part 7 right there. The last of the albums that shaped the soundtrack of my life. Yeah, that's right. So anyhow, there you go. Music Talk, the albums. The album section of Music Talk is done. It's kind of weird. Maybe one day I'll find a new album that I'll love that whole thing again, but I just don't see how. That music don't work the same like it used to. It's sad, but that's how it is, and you roll with it or you don't, and we're gonna roll with it. So now I listen to single songs mostly, and that's how it is. Go out there, list. Tell me in the comments. Tell me what your favorite albums was in your soundtrack of your life. Ooh, there's So since I gave you a bunch of albums, I ain't gonna give you a song list to. But go check them albums out. Them albums, every one of them's good. Every one of them, not a bad song on them. What I think, anyhow. But that's it. No craziness tonight. We just paying a little tribute to like I keep saying, the soundtrack of my life. It's film music. My whole childhood was, my young adulthood, my middle age, and now my old man times. But I listen to music, bunch of music every single damn day. Today, I was listening to what I listened to today. I'll tell you, it was some rockabilly kind of stuff, the Mavericks, Tito and Tarantula. And what was them other fellers? I forgot their name, but they do that song on Dusk Till Dawn. They do a song called Dark Night. I can't remember, but I listened to some of them. And a lot of the Mavericks. I heard a lot of Mavericks today. But anyhow, that's what's going on. Nothing else crazy. Hey, the damn Ada Mae next door left me the hell alone. I couldn't believe it because they got that patio thing going on. I thought for sure she'd be what. I ain't seen her today. Maybe she went and visited her sister. She'd be gone for a week if she did that. Woo! I'm free. Oh, well, I gotta make sure first before I celebrate. I just started celebrating during the game. You gotta wait till the game over. I preach on that and I just broke my own rule. Okay, I'll see you later in the next one. I don't know what it's gonna be yet. But leave a comment if you want to. Other than that, I'll see you later. Bye.